Next, we will have a look at the information items, and I will explain how they impact the outcomes and the purpose. Let's start with the first information item, scope of work. Obviously, it contributes to outcome number 1. The scope of the work for the project is defined. As I mentioned before, this is the most crucial piece of information in the whole ASPICE universe, as it has an impact on each part of the project. Not only the planning might be incomplete if the scope is defined in the wrong way, but also the engineering or technical activities will take wrong decisions if the scope is defined either too narrow or too wide. The scope of work not only describes what the result of the project will be, but it also defines the start and end date of the development project. The scope of work may also define what is not part of the project. We call these exclusions constraints. We will come back to the scope of work in the course of this academy in more detail, so that you really understand what this information is and how it can be defined in a clear way. Let's continue with the feasibility analysis. This item contributes to 2 outcomes. The first one is, again, obvious. The results of the evaluation of the feasibility are documented in the information item feasibility analysis. But why are the interfaces, the outcome number 4, mentioned? This is not quite obvious. Here's an explanation. When conducting the feasibility analysis, the interfaces are used. So every stakeholder, internal, external to the project, is involved in producing the feasibility analysis. And the other way around, when conducting feasibility analysis, this leads or contributes to a better understanding and therefore more complete definition of the project interfaces. So this is how feasibility analysis is related to the project interfaces. Work packages. As I mentioned before, work packages are groups of activities. So the work packages connect the activities by using dependencies. But the work packages contain further information like input and output work products, the resources which are needed to perform the activities which are part of a work package, the effort and the duration. The work package description containing all this information can be integrated into a schedule. On the other hand, it can be part of a different document called project handbook. So that's a decision taken by the project. So the work package contributes to outcome number 3, as the work package contains the necessary activities for a domain or project phase. And as we discussed before, the work packages contain estimations. As the work package defines inputs and outputs which are handed over to domains, sub-projects or suppliers, the work package definition also helps to define the interfaces. So it contributes to outcome number 4, interface definition and monitoring. And of course it contributes to outcome number 5, as the work packages are part of the planning documents or plans. Communication evidence. This information item, communication evidence, contributes to the feasibility outcome number 2. This is because the feasibility analysis is a joint effort of the domains, projects, and the stakeholders are inside and outside the project. So all of these people need to communicate to create the feasibility analysis. Something similar is true for the estimation of the activities. They shall be estimated by the people who will perform the activities. So these things, the feasibility analysis, the activities, the estimates, are communicated back and forth between the different groups in the project and outside the project during the creation of the feasibility analysis. One might add another usage for communication evidence. For the reporting of the project status, it might be feasible to have a communication evidence to prove that the status was communicated to the customer, for example. Next information item is the change request. This information item contributes to outcome number 7. Adjustments is performed when the project goals are not achieved. So the cause for a change request can be deviation from the plan. During the replanning, the goals of the project can be changed if agreed with the customer. In order to document this in a proper way, a change request is typically used. Another use case of a change request can be the wish coming from the customer to change the product or a feature of the product. This external change request is typically communicated to the project management first and will be handled initially by them. This is another reason why change requests are closely associated with project management. Consistency evidence. This information item contributes to the feasibility outcome and to the adjustment outcome. Even though the establishment of consistency is not mentioned in the purpose nor in the outcomes, there's a base practice which expects that consistency across all documents is established. This consistency check is at least done at 2 stages in the project lifecycle. First, after the feasibility and evaluation and initial planning, the consistency will be checked and established, which leads to this information item, consistency evidence. The second situation where a consistency check is needed is after a change in the scope of the project or after replanning in general. The next information item is corrective action. The corrective action is related to the monitoring outcome, number 6, and to the adjustment outcomes. This is because these are the 2 situations where a corrective action might be needed during progress monitoring and if adjustments are needed using corrective actions. Escalation path. This information item, escalation path, describes what must be escalated, how it will be escalated, and to which role or gremium it shall be escalated. It contributes to outcome number 4, interface definition, because the escalation path is a specific interface definition and therefore part of the overall interface definition of the project. And the escalation path is related to the progress monitoring outcome. because the monitoring is one of the reasons for escalation. If the monitoring detects a deviation from the plan which cannot be resolved within the project, then it needs to be escalated along the previously defined escalation path. The same is true for outcome number 7, adjustments, which become necessary when the project goals are not achieved. Again, if the project is not able to solve these issues internally, then it has to escalate. We will look again at escalation path in the process sub 1, quality assurance. Be aware that these two escalation paths in month 3 project management and sub 1 quality assurance are different. While the quality assurance path is for quality problems only, and they will escalate to the quality department, the escalation path coming from project management is applicable to any deviation or problem which may occur in the project. And this escalation in project management will be typically done along the line of organization. Schedule. This information item schedule is an aggregation of activities and work packages. It is very often called work breakdown structure. We will look into the terms work breakdown structure, schedule, activities, work packages, tasks, epics in much more detail in this course. The information item schedule contributes to the outcome number 3 as it contains the activities and the respective estimations. The schedule is therefore part of the plans on how to achieve the project goal, and it contributes to outcome number 5. Plans for the execution of the project are developed, implemented, and maintained. And it contributes to outcome number 7 as the adjustments are done within the scheduling document. These adjustments during replanning can include the shift of activities, a shift of a milestone, the change of output work products of an activity, or adding more resources to an activities. All these changes will be documented in a new version of the schedule. Stakeholder groups list. The list of stakeholders and the groups of stakeholders contribute to the interface definition, outcome number 4. Why is that? Stakeholders are a specific interface of the project and therefore part of the overall interface definition and the monitoring of the interfaces. And the last information item, project status. It obviously is related to outcome number 6. Progress of the project is monitored and reported. The information item status report is a result of the progress monitoring. And the status report is communicated along the interfaces which are defined by outcome number 4. Some of the project interfaces receive the status report according to the defined interval and in the agreed format. Congratulations, you just finished the first video on the processes in the ASPICE universe. That was a lot of input. Take your time to process it. If you have any questions, consider joining our community of practice calls or ask me in a personal coaching session. In the next video, I will explain to you the base practice of the process project management. Until next time, see you.